2000 Marana V-22 crash. On 8 April 2000, a V-22 Osprey aircraft operated by the United States Marine Corps crashed during a night training exercise at Marana Regional Airport near Tucson, Arizona. The crash killed all 19 U.S. Marines on board and intensified debate about the reliability of the Osprey. It was later determined that the aircraft had entered an aerodynamic condition known as vortex ring state, which resulted from a high rate of descent compounded by pilot error. As a result of the investigation findings, the V-22 was subject to further redesign and eventually entered operational service in 2007. Accident. On 8 April 2000, a V-22 Osprey being flown by Major Brooks Gruber and Lieutenant Colonel John Brown was conducting a nighttime training exercise simulating a combatant evacuation at Marana Northwest Regional Airport in Marana, Arizona, about 20 miles northwest of Tucson. The V-22 was carrying 15 passengers, all U.S. Marines, and was flying in a formation of 4 V-22s when the accident occurred. 2 of the V-22s in the formation were actually carrying out the exercise while the other 2 were observing their performance. As they approached the landing site, the pilots of the mishap V-22 realized they were 2,000 feet above the required descent altitude and reduced power. As Lieutenant Colonel Brown maneuvered the aircraft to land, the Osprey entered an erratic roll, turning on its back and slamming into the ground nose first. All 19 Marines aboard the aircraft were killed. The second V-22 also made a hard landing but suffered no fatalities. Investigation. Shortly after the crash, an investigation was commissioned to determine its cause. The investigation ruled out most possible causes and narrowed in on the aircraft's rate of descent as the primary cause. Investigators compared the mishap aircraft's actual rate of descent with the V-22 flight manual's required rate of descent and found discrepancies. As the V-22 descended to land, it was dropping at 2,000 feet a minute, well above the prescribed 800 feet a minute. The speed caused the aircraft to enter an aerodynamic condition known as vortex ring state. In this condition, a vortex envelops the rotor, causing an aircraft to lose lift, in essence descending in its own downwash. After 2 months of investigation by the Marine Corps Judge Advocate General, a final report was released which absolved the aircraft itself of any mechanical faults and instead pinned the blame on the exceptionally high rate of descent. The report read, "This mishap appears not to be the result of any design, material, or maintenance factor specific to tilt rotors. Its primary cause, that of an V-22 entering a vortex ring state power settling and slash or blade stall condition, is not peculiar to tilt rotors. The contributing factors to the mishap, a steep approach with a high." After 16 years of the widows fighting the Marine Corps and the V-22 Osprey program stakeholders, both pilots were vindicated when they were cleared of blame for the crash in 2016 by then Deputy Defense Secretary Bob Work. Aftermath. The crash resulted in a 2-month moratorium on V-22 test flights and further postponed its entry into operational military service. The Department of Defense Director of Operational Test and Evaluation wrote a report 7 months after the crash stating the Osprey was not operationally suitable, primarily because of reliability, maintainability, availability, human factors, and interoperability issues, and implored more research to be conducted into the Osprey's susceptibility to vortex ring state. Nevertheless, a panel convened by Secretary of Defense William Cohen to review the V-22 program recommended its continuance despite many issues with safety and reliability. As a result, the procurement budget was decreased, but the research and development budget was increased. 8 months later, another V-22 Osprey, conducting training near Jacksonville, North Carolina, crashed, killing 4 Marines. References ==